The 702nd edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code MMASGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. And we're also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. Download the Rebet app and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match of up to $100. And finally, we're brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing the college football and NFL seasons with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Heidi ho, degenerinos, and welcome to episode 702 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Money Lion, who says Gumby knows his stuff, which is true. Gumby does know his stuff. We'll see how much he knows about UFC, though, because I am the king of UFC around these parts. I am big body Taco Fox, and this event may be a bit of a struggle for me. It's UFC Macau, aka UFC China. A lot of fighters. I have a hard time remembering even the biggest names of fighters, but yeah, this one's got some interesting people on it, and I think we've got the road to UFC finals here. I think I missed all of these fighters' semifinal bouts. I think that was when I was on vacation, perhaps, and I haven't had time to check film. So yeah, I'm gonna.
I might have had to break these down by myself. Too,
yeah, you did.
The temporary co-host was like, "Hey, love you, man," but
that's Daniel Gumby Breland, everyone. Everybody say hi, Gumby.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so I think so. I Tapology capped these, but you know, I'm comfortable with my picks nonetheless. But all in all, pretty solid fight card since we've been fed a steady 100 episodes of UFC Apex fight nights. This one stands out as a good one.
Yeah, I actually love this card. There's a whole bunch of I would call them super prospects. There's 3 or 4 guys and gals who I think are not just good fighters, not just good additions to the UFC, but people you should keep an eye on this card. So I'll be hitting some of those momentarily.
Yes, very, very good. Yeah. Thoughts on maybe we'll stick at the prelims. Thoughts on the lines, any surprises, any tough fights for you to pick?
2 or 3 very surprise lines. I will say a couple of them I went back and rewatched some Road to the UFC because I was I remember being really mad at this one guy, and I was like, was I really mad at him because he won when he shouldn't have won? Was I really mad at him because I picked against him? And then I went back and watched it. I'm like, okay, and then had a more formed opinion. So even I, who have usually a pretty damn good memory when it comes to this kind of stuff, had to go back and remind myself some things.
How do you remember these things, other than the fact you're 15 years younger than me? I just found out off air you don't get more sleep than me.
Yeah, so I don't sleep really. I don't. I couldn't watch this much MMA if I slept.
Yeah, I seem to forget about fights the second they happen. I've already forgotten about it. Well, we do an episode and then I forget about it. So
I think it was because I was always a number guy. So I was a math major for my undergrad. So that was a big piece of it. When you're a math guy, these numbers stick out a little bit better. Yeah. I suck with dates though. I can't tell you even in the slightest what year any of these happened, but I can tell you who they fought.
Yeah, I'm good at numbers. I don't remember squat about a lot of these fighters, but it seems to be. That's the way most people, other than Gumby. If you listen to other shows or watch other shows, or even watch the official UFC broadcast, you find the announcers are actually worse than me. That they know even less than me. Yeah, I shouldn't feel bad because Daniel Cormier definitely knows way less than me about all of these fighters, as does probably Felder's pretty good, but probably him too. Probably Dominic Cruz, all those Michael Bisping. They don't know more than us, and they definitely don't know more than Gumby. So. This may be a challenge for me. We've got 3 episodes left in the year. I am still trying to finish the year in the.
Do you think this is the thing that hurts you?
Yeah, that's the thing. We have never, neither of us have ever stayed in the black for a full year.
And we're talking just money line play. So we're talking about picking a money line for every single one, whether you think it's a good value, you got a good read.
Yes. And we same amount on every fight as well.
Right. And we obviously don't advise you to do that. Hit the ones you like best. Well, we used to, it was a little tongue in cheek there. Obviously, hit your spots that you like best. Play props. play totals, all that kind of good stuff.
Well,
Don't just blindly bet
yeah.
money lines.
Yeah, I'm up 852. So you think I could, hopefully I can survive 3 weeks on that.
This
and then
could be a
we'll
really bad
celebration.
week for you.
But this one could be, I don't know. A lot of the fights I've picked, even if I've leaned to an underdog, I see a lot of people are in on the same dog. So maybe that's a good thing. I don't know if I should fade the public or not, but anyhow, we'll break it down. Gumby tells me also that people like to scrub through this part of our podcast. The real ones live for this part. The real fans out there listen to this, but yeah, the rest of you just want lists of who's going to win. So we'll get to that soon enough. After I remind you, make sure you download the SGPN app. If you haven't already, you are missing out. The SGPN app gives you access to all the podcasts on the network and the picks pages in one convenient app. Plus, like all our content, the app is completely free. Type in SGPN in your app store to download it today, and then you won't have FOMO, fear of missing out. All right, let's jump into the card. But we've been dancing around it. We haven't come right out and told you what it is. It's UFC Fight Night, Yan versus Figueiredo. There's 2 Yans on this fight card, so one of them is headlining, the other one is co-headlining. It's going down in Macau, which is it technically in China?
Yeah, it's in China.
Okay, because
I think it's a province of China.
Yeah, because Topology, which is a topology cap. It's a special administrative region of China. So
sure,
maybe our boy Burr can let us know in the Discord. I believe he is going to this event. One of our friends in the Discord. Make sure you get in the Discord. He can be your friend too. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Yeah, he's in that side of the world, and he likes to send us pictures of him at various events. He's going to this one, so I'm sure he can tell us all about Macau. But that is where this is happening. As we told you, this is part of the ultimate degenerate experience this weekend. This one's going down at 3 a.m. Saturday morning. A lot of the people, I thought we had hardcores in our Discord, but a lot of them seem to be tapping out or not willing to stay up for this whole card. At least the people commenting early seem to be not in on it. But
you don't have to watch it to bet on it.
It's true. We as we've told you with regional events, we've got you covered. We got you covered. What from I guess LFA 10 p.m. on Friday Eastern is the start of your Degen madness, and then it takes you right through to this event, and then right through to Cage Warriors at noon, and then Anthony Pettis starts at 1, I think. Right? Is that right?
Yeah.
I think yeah.
So, like that. No, not Anthony Pettis. No, we didn't do Anthony Pettis this week.
No, that was the week before. Right?
We did Aries.
Right. In France. That makes more sense with the start time. All right, this one 3 a.m. is the start time for the prelims. ESPN Plus. It looks like it is not on regular TV in Canada, so we'll have to UFC Fight Pass and the Sportsnet app. Galaxy Arena in Macau. 13 fights, and we are kicking things off. Pretty steady fight card. I don't want to jinx us here, but all that we lost was one road to the UFC final, right? That one got canceled, and that's it. So
Shebin, right?
Yeah. All right, let's kick things. Gumby's gonna have fun saying a lot of Chinese names. He's very good at pronouncing Chinese names, and he likes to low key show off. So we'll see how he does here. First, I get to butcher names. Maheshate, we'll just call him that. I thought he just went by that, but
he does just go by that now.
Yeah. Maheshate is Hayazar is that's his last name or his first name. That's another thing I was struggling with, because sometimes some sites have their names the North American style, some have it the proper Asian style. So I think Maheshate would be his first name, right?
Sure.
So that's what he goes by. See, that's the thing. Maheshate from China, Nikolas Motta from Brazil. Now we're finally going to give you a pick. All right. Jeff's been rambling on. Iron Motta is 14-5 with 1 no contest. He's got 10 knockouts on his resume. He's been knocked out 4 times, submitted once. So he's been finishing all his losses. 2-2 in the UFC, 1-1 with 1 no contest over his last 3. Won his last fight via TKO. 1 no on Contender Series, 1-1 in the Ultimate Fighter. So he's been around. Regional champion. He's fought at featherweight. 2012 pro MMA debut. Better grappling stats than Maheshate. He has been outstruck in the UFC by 1.7 strikes per minute, which sucks, especially if you can hit as hard as he hits. You should outstrike people. I guess 1 shot is all he needs. Plus 170. Maheshate, 10-3, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. 2-2 in the UFC, 1-2 over his last 3, 8-2 over his last 10. Did win his last fight. 1 no on Contender Series. He's missed weight before at 155. Used to be 170. 3 inches taller than Motta, an inch of reach on him, 6 years younger. So all that in his favor. More accurate landing strikes than Motta. He has been outstruck as well, even worse than Motta. He's been outstruck by 1.86 strikes per minute. This includes Contender Series fights for both these guys. So like 5 fights. So it's not a super small sample size. Minus 192. Super small sample size is a good title, Gumby. All right, you go first.
All right. So first of all, we hope you enjoyed that little graphic that you guys got
I wasn't watching.
while
Put it
Jeff
up.
was reading. Yeah. So I threw that graphic up. There's shout out to the fine folks at folk. I think it's just one guy at nextmma.com. He's been creating those graphics and we might try to implement them. Let us know in the comments if you like them or if
Do you like my
them.
face or do you like graphics?
I mean, the graphic was there. Your face stayed. Your face stayed,
okay.
just for the record. Yeah, we had a little mix and match. So
yeah,
if you
I'll
liked
never
it,
see
if
them,
you thought it was too busy, you would just prefer to hear us talk, just let us know in the comments or in the Discord, either one, and we will try to bring you more or less of what you love and hate. For me, let's get to picks. I'm gonna go Motta in this one. First of all, I do worry about his chin a little bit. He has been knocked out before. But I
4
do,
times. Yeah,
I do really like his style of striking when it comes to fighting somebody like Maheshate. So, like, if you watch Maheshate, he's big for the weight division, but anytime he enters range, a feint almost gets him to abandon his striking almost 100% of the time. If anytime he goes to throw a punch and somebody like basically feints a counter that's going to hit him, he gets out of dodge or he abandons his strike and takes like a softer blow as a result. He's almost scared to like mix it up with somebody. And against somebody like Motta, who throws as much as he does and comes forward as much as he does, you sort of have to like walk through fire in order to beat him. Like that's how, what was it? Manuel Torres knocked him out with the elbow. He just like came forward and was like, that's fine. If you're going to hit me, I'm going to hit you harder. And that worked for him. And, you know, like we've obviously also seen him get beat by grappling, right? Like Trey Ogden just like, you know, laid on him and beat him up there for 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, that was the fight that was stopped early, right?
Right. And he should have lost that fight.
But he would have lost it. Yeah.
But my point here is that like, that's a style to beat him. Neither of these guys have ever tried to take down. So I'm not worried about that being the case here. Yeah. But I do think that like his style of striking is like a really good counter to what we see from Maheshate. So he's got power. So does Maheshate. They've both been knocked out before. So like you just kind of have to ask yourself who you think is going to land better and more consistently. And I kind of think Motta will.
I'm glad. I wanted to pick Motta, and then I was like, maybe I should take the favorite. But I am glad you're in a Motta because I will get in on him as well. I kind of low key like him. He's a fun fighter to watch, and it's his power that is a big thing here. Especially since this is more than almost 99% going to be a striking battle. Now there are these guys. Yeah. Like Motta's the better grappler of the two, and he never grapples. So
he's just got better takedown defense. That's all that means.
That's exactly what's it. They both of them have never shot a takedown, I don't think, in the UFC. So if it's going to be a striking battle, give me the guy who hits the hardest, especially considering Maheshate gets pieced up a lot on the feet, as when I was reading you off the stats. Both guys actually get pieced up on the feet. So if it's a striking battle, for sure, both guys get hit a lot, then give me the guy with the power. So,
right.
Yeah, there you go. I rationalized it. So good. All right. Good pick. We got your dog right out the gate. So you're all set. Let's just transition into, we can't transition to that. That's a later ad read. That's fine. We'll transition into MyBookie. I almost had a perfect segue. MyBookie.ag. You can get underdogs there as well. So it is a good transition. We're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. SGPN started out with MyBookie, and now we are back. Check out the new and improved website. Great on mobile, plus props for every game and the live dealer casino. Even new early cash out options are available there. So check out all the MMA odds. I'm sure they'll have lots of good lines for UFC Macau. Head to MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. That's plus, almost sure change you, plus a $10 casino chip. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And new sponsor as of last episode. Yeah, we're brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a brand new social sports book available in 45 states. A huge market of betting opportunities are available on Rebet. Easy to use and great for people in states where traditional sports books may be restricted. Download Rebet in the App Store and use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. I bet you guys couldn't tell that it was, I recorded the Rebet ad after the fact last episode because I made mistakes in it and I didn't edit it. So see, I wanted to make sure it seemed live off the floor, Gumby. So no editing.
Yeah, and I splice it in there so good. Nobody can ever tell anyway.
Exactly. We're the best. How great are we? All right, we're dropping down to bantamweights. Long Chao from China. Quang Lee, he's from Vietnam, I believe, correct?
Originally.
No, yeah, Vietnam. Yep. Vietnam 5-minute rounds, 135. Let's jump into it. Bang Lee. 8-1, 2 knockouts, 3 submissions, never been finished in a fight. 0-1 in the UFC. He got outstruck in that fight by almost 3 strikes a minute, so that will get you a loss. Minus 2.86. Remind the people who that was against. I think it was short notice too, right?
Short notice against Chris Gutierrez.
Right. Yes.
And he won a round.
Yep. He's a dog. No respect despite that. Plus 115. Long, 26-9. He's fought a lot on the kind of questionable Chinese regional scene. 4 knockouts, 9 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times. 0-1 in the UFC, 4-1 over his last 5. He did lose his last fight. He went 2-0 on the road to UFC. Lost in the finals. Regional champion, 0-1 in Contender Series, 0-1 in 1 championship, but no shame there because we know that is the biggest promotion in the world. 2 inches of height over Lee, 7 years younger. Better striking stats, 4 times more active landing strikes, but we're talking about the smallest of sample sizes here. He's got better grappling stats than Lee. Actually, his sample sizes isn't quite as small. He's fought 3 times that we have stats for. He's outstruck those 3 opponents by almost a strike a minute. He's at plus 0.96, and on the board he's a minus 120. Give me Bang Lee. I like the guy. As Gumby said, he looked good in his debut. That's a very tough ask, fighting Chris Gutierrez in your debut. On short notice, even tougher. I'm not super impressed with Long. As I said, most of that win-loss record was on the questionable, to say the least, Chinese regional scene. There's a lot of WLF fighters and whatnot and happy elephant fighters on this fight card. WLF's probably one of the biggest ones there too. So anyhow, I like Lee. I like his power. He's pretty good all around. And I like what I saw in his debut. So I will take him as a underdog. And this is one of the ones that it seems the Tapology hardcores are in on as well. So give me the dog.
I'm shocked he's an underdog. This is the most shocking line. Quang Lee,
good.
Incredible value. I mean, he went in there with Chris Gutierrez, stood and traded with him, and also took him down. And I know you said you love his power, which, by the way, that's a new development. Like, if you watched him through his regional career, like in the last few fights, he's like dug deep and decided, like, hey, I can knock people out too. The Tile Trang knockout, absolutely incredible. Like, I couldn't believe, first of all, that he knocked him out. But second of all, that's the type of fight he wanted there, because he is an incredible grappler, despite having like the striking stats recently. I mean, taking Chris Gutierrez down and taking a round off of him via that method, like that's it, man. Like that is the thing that you want to circle here. And also that's a problem Long Xiao has had. He's been taken down in the past. I think he could stand and trade with him. I think he could take him down and sub him. I think he could beat him in pretty much any way here. Yeah, definitely give me Quang Lee. All about him in this one.
All right, excellent. And just in the side, Gumby, what we were talking about off air, the dogs were tricking me. They already ate their dinner. They came in and asked for more dinner. Stupid dogs.
They're trying to double down, baby.
They always, these dogs, you cannot trust the dogs. They come in acting like they've never been fed. And my wife's like, no, I fed them. I'm like, all right, take that, dogs. All right, we're going down. That's what we get you on this show, not just underdogs. Hey, we just picked back-to-back underdogs too. So I guess that was fitting out and talk about the dogs. We are off down again, the flyweight. Loney Kavanagh, I believe it's Loney, right? That's how the Irish severe MMA people are saying it, and I believe he's from Ireland. So
I would say go with what they say. Yeah.
Yep. Loney Kavanagh. It says he's from China. But he fights out of.
His mom is Chinese. His mom is Chinese.
Okay. Okay. He fights out of England though, and he's also his dad's Irish. I just said Irish. His dad's Irish, I guess, with the last name. So anyhow, Loney Kavanagh versus Jose Ochoa. Ochoa is from Mexico. Peru. Their flags are similar.
That's Jose, by the way, man.
Oh yeah. Well, it sounds better. It sounds better the way it said. Fine. Jose Ochoa from Peru. 3 5-minute rounds, 125. We're going to tell you about Ochoa first. Calcifer. I could not find anything on what a calcifer is. Any help?
Yeah, they have a cartoon down there that's like this little fire guy. I'm pretty sure that's him.
All right, awesome. A little fire guy. Cool. 7-0 with 1 no contest, 6 knockouts, 1 submission. So he's finished everyone that he's beat. This is his UFC debut. So he must be pretty good if the UFC is letting him debut without having to jump through the tough or contender series.
He was booked on contender series twice.
Okay. They're like, all right, fine.
And then they just, his opponents fell off both times. And then they're like, you know what? Screw it.
It's flyweight. We can always use another flyweight. So this is his debut. 3 inches of height over Kavanagh, a year younger, plus 285. He's got a tough ask in his debut, though. Kavanagh is 7-0 with 5 knockouts. This is his debut as well. However, he won via TKO on a very exciting, sad that they matched up those 2 flyweights on contender series, but they did nonetheless. So he's 1-0. Why am I blanking on the name of the person?
Antoine Ho.
Right, Antoine Ho, who would have fit perfectly on this card as well. They should have just signed him as well. But anyhow, 1-0 contender series, TKO in his TKO win. He's fought extensively in Cage Warriors in the past. Minus 340 is the number on him. So a couple guys, small resumes, but one of them I think has got a more impressive resume.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Winloni Kavanagh here. I think for me the biggest piece is that, like, if you've watched Jose Ochoa on the regional scene, he's a guy who gets in your face and is willing to eat a punch. And we've learned you can't eat Lonnie or Kavanagh's punch. He's just a guy who puts you straight to sleep every single time he's throwing. And in addition to that, too, while I sort of favored Antoine Ho's grappling over Lonnie Kavanagh's, I think his grappling is still quite good, and I think he's going to be faster than Ochoa. I think he hits harder than Ochoa. I think he's just the type of person who's a nightmare matchup for Ochoa. And I think the UFC does too. Like this to me feels like them trying to boost up Kavanagh here in his debut. So give me Lonnie Kavanagh. Even negative 340 doesn't sound like it's high enough.
Yeah, I not much I really have to add on there. Kavanagh is proven to be the real deal. Exciting guy. Look forward to seeing what he can do in the flyweight division. Hey, if they're giving him baby steps up, that's fine. That can't last very long in flyweight because there's only about 30 or so fighters in flyweight. But yeah, for the time being, fine by me. We're sticking with flyweights. Carlos Hernandez from the United States of America, and then the fun name, Nyamjargal Tumendemberel. Art of Knockout is the nickname, which is even cooler. He's from Mongolia. Mongolian flag, pretty cool. Just so you know, this is a low-key flag podcast, and this is a good event for it as well. So as I said, flyweight 3 5-minute rounds. We're going to tell you about the Art of Knockout first, not the art, just Art of Knockout, which makes it even better. That would be Tumendemberel. He's 8-0, 2 knockouts, 5 submissions. You may remember him from the road to UFC. He won both his fights there. Then I guess he got injured before the finals, right? Had to pull out. Is that what happened? Because he didn't.
I thought he had 2 showcase fights.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think they're in the same year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, because he hasn't fought in over a year, so
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I do remember having he fought Topnoy in the first one, and I think that was a showcase fight.
Yeah, he fought Topnoy and then Peter Daniso, so I think you're right. Yeah. He did pull out of he pulled out of his UFC debut fight for injury, so that's why he's been on the shelf for a little bit. But yeah, as Gumby said, he was just getting showcase fights because he obviously was the guy the UFC had pinpointed wanting to sign. So he did win his last fight back in August 2023 via submission. He's got multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get this shirt. Exactly. In our store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. It's impressive to have multiple region championships and you've only fought 8 times. So that's a talent there. 4 inches of reach over Hernandez, 5 years younger, more active landing strikes, better grappling stats, and he's outstruck his two road two opponents by 0.81 strikes per minute, plus 160. Hernandez 9-4 with 4 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 2-3 in the UFC. He's lost 2 straight. He's only won 1 of his last 4. 1-0 in contender series. Regional champ. He's fed at bantamweight, 1 inch of height over Tumendemberel. He's outstruck his opponents in the UFC by 0.31 strikes per minute, and he is at minus 180. Oh, I caught the graphics this time. I clicked back in time.
How did they look?
They looked all right. My face is better, but whatever. If that's what people prefer. Give me Art of Knockout. I'm surprised he's a dog. He's a dog here. I don't think Hernandez is that great. This gentleman, Tumendemberel, looked very impressive from what we've seen of him. So I will gladly take a guy who's very impressive and much younger than a middling UFC flyweight in Carlos Hernandez. So give me the Art of Knockout at plus 160.
I'm all over Hernandez here.
Mike, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this fight, for the record, opened at like plus 130 for Hernandez, and now he's damn near a 2-1 favorite. And it's 100% because if you watch Tumendemberel's fights, like I mentioned the fight with Top Noy, and you know me, I love me some Top Noy. I love a guy who I like to rip a couple of cigarettes and have fun.
He sure
Yeah,
does.
remember? Yeah, like give me more Top Noy if you want. But what do you remember about Top Noy's style?
Yeah,
Incredibly good. Well, and he's a good Thai fighter, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That was it. He's really good in the Muay Thai clinch, fun
Yeah.
kicks. He took down Tumendemberel 4 times. He had
It's always the grappling with you. It's always the grappling.
He got taken down by Top Noy, who isn't doesn't know any grappling.
Now it stinks so bad. He would get all that smoke all over you.
Yeah.
The cig smoke when he's on top of you. He probably sweats it out.
Shout out. This is a Top Noy Kiwam
it always
podcast,
is.
so shout out to him. But my point is that Hernandez has been in there with dudes who are much better than that. And he has looked pretty good in the grappling. Like in the Dennis Bondar fight, he looked good. Like I actually rate his grappling pretty high. And like you go back and look at his submissions. He's got some submissions on his record. I think between the fact that we've just seen Tumendemberel like struggle grappling, like Peter Daniso and Top Noy Kiram, who aren't grapplers, and now he's gonna get a grappler in his debut off of a big layoff. I mean, I think the public's right on this one and just loading up on Carlos Hernandez. So I'm going to jump on that train too. And unfortunately, talk like Jong style, we did not get any CLV on this one.
Grappling, schmappling, Gumby. Fade the public. I'm fading the public.
I think he's a better striker than Tumendemberel too. How about that?
Oh, we'll find out, right? I'm not a big Carlos Hernandez fan. Maybe he will change my mind, but I'm willing to take a swing on a dog. Look at me taking these dogs. The man formerly known as Chalks. I don't call myself that anymore because I'm definitely not chalky with my picks. All right, before we move on, one thing Gumby and I do agree on. We've agreed on most things this episode, but we definitely agree on Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports. They got NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and more. You can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. Do you have any plays for us, Gumby? Al Horford or otherwise?
Sure. I'm going to I'll take a stab off of Tumendemberel in that last fight we just talked about. His takedowns on there listed at 1.5. I'm gonna go lower than that on Tumendemberel. I don't think his grappling's all that good at all. So I'm gonna say he gets lower than 1.5 takedowns on Saturday.
Look at you. You're really rubbing it in. Sign up with our code. If you actually sign up with our code regardless, and then you can decide whether or not you're Team Gumby or Team Chalks. MMA SGPN is the code. Really helpful. If you use that, it helps us keep the lights on here and keep us in your orifices as often as we are. So MMA SGPN, and that way you get to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Fancy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. And SGPN's proud partner Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. Build your own model, copy one of the top performing models from Leaderboard, or have Rhythm build a model for you. Now you can track props in the Rhythm apps. You know how all your Al Horford picks are doing. I saw he hit like 5 threes again the other day when I was looking.
He hit four last game. Yeah,
unreal.
Against the Cavs. He's incredible.
NFL picks, NFL props, college football, college basketball, and NBA. Rhythm has it all. So obviously they have Al Horford data for you there. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RTHMM. Still haven't heard from the big wigs at Rhythm as to why these MMA yahoos are talking about Al Horford in their ad reads every time, but I assume they enjoy us doing it. So we're going to keep
they know
what time it is. All right. We are off to last 3 fights on the prelims are the championship of the road to UFC, which is, a fun little thing. I've enjoyed the road to UFC, even though I did miss some of these fights because I was away last time. But yeah, it's a nice little addition to, the regular slog of the UFC. So kind of like a contender series type of thing, which is fun. This is the championship at the women's strawweight. Xiaocan. Is it Xiaocan?
Xiaocan Feng, yeah.
Xiaocan Feng. Xiaocan Feng. Versus Ming Shi, and they're both from China. They're both featherweights, strawweights, they're both women. So this works out well. Dr. Shi, you can call her Gumby. Why is she doctor? She probably really is. She probably really is a doctor. I don't know how much doctors get paid in China. She is 16-5, 1 knockout, 6 submissions. One knock. She's been knocked out once, submitted once. I'm starting to, I'm going to have to get rebooted again soon. 2-0 on the road to UFC, and now she's in the finals. She's won 4 straight and 10 of 11. Lost her fight December 2021. She's fought pretty much at every weight class. Atomweight, come on, UFC. Get an atomweight division, especially if you're doing road to UFC. This is right up the alley there. 125, so flyweight, and 135, bantamweight. Has outstruck her road to UFC opponents by almost a strike a minute. She's at plus 0.93. And on the board, plus 265. Feng, 10-2, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. She's been submitted once. 2-0 to road to UFC. It's part of an 8-fight winning streak. He's not lost since April 2021. She has multiple regional championships on her
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. We have to get female shirts of these, right? This says her.
Sure.
Yeah, we should. in pink, because you girls love pink, right? You one girl that listens to us. She's, you know what one of her championships on her mantle is from, Gumby? Which
Happy Elephant?
Happy Elephant MMA Champions League, I believe it's a full name of it. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, it sounds right.
So great. So yeah, she's a champ there for what that's worth. Maybe we'll have to cover that. Christmas time is coming. You never know. Used to fight at flyweight, 5 inches height, 6 inches of reach, that's insane for strawweight. That much of a gap. 7 years younger. That's pretty massive too. Better striking stats, more active landing strikes, better grappling stats, and she's outstruck her road to opponents by almost 5 strikes a minute. She's at plus 4.93. Not surprisingly, 0-1 is a pro kickboxer. Not surprisingly, minus 325. You're not surprised me here, right?
No, I'm gonna go Feng.
Yes.
I actually picked against Feng in her last fight. I took Miki Montoya. It was a rematch. Montoya kind of dominated the first fight and then got armbarred at the end. Feng looks like she's improving at a really fast rate, which is honestly one of the best things. Like, you know, you've talked in the past about liking younger fighters. It's especially rewarding when they're clearly getting better fight to fight, which I kind of think Feng is. And then the size discrepancy is just going to be massive here. Like, she is so much bigger, and not just in terms of reach and height and things like that. Like, body wise, she is so much better than Ming Shi. And Ming Shi got taken down a couple of times in her last fight, had trouble with the physicality of her opponent, eventually overcame it. But it wasn't the same discrepancy and wasn't the same skill level as Feng too, right? Like, if Feng dealt with Miki Montoya, who I'm a big fan of, I think she's really good. We'll probably see her again down the road. If she could deal with her in terms of grappling and physicality, she should have no problem with Ming Shi. So give me Xiaocan Feng here. Love the numbers a little bit on the high side, but I still love her for parlays.
All right, throw her in a parlay. We don't say that. I think it's been picking up more recently, the throw them in the parlay line. That used to be one of our early day lines. Yeah, we used to say that a lot. All right, we are moving another championship fight for Road 2 Championship. This is men's flyweight. Kiru Sahota from England. Dong Hoon Choi from South Korea. 3 5-minute rounds, 125. Tell you about Choi first. He's 8-0 with 3 knockouts, 2-0 on road to UFC, regional champion, 4 years younger than Sahota, better striking stats, more active landing strikes. He's outstruck his opponents at 1.2 strikes per minute. And he is at, the lines actually change here. He is flipped to a dog here. He's at plus 100. I don't think I said last. I'm taking Feng as well, obviously. I don't think I actually said that. She seems like a slam dunk pick here. Sahota, 12-2, 6 knockouts, 2 submissions, but knocked out once. He's also 2-0 on the road to UFC. He's won 3 straight and 7 of 8. Multi-regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt. This one I'm wearing. I will sell you this one I'm wearing if some sicko out there wants it. Sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. I used to fight at bantamweight, 5 inches height, 7 inches of reach. So another massive reach for a small weight class here. He's outstruck his UFC opponents with 1.86 strikes per minute, minus 105. Give me dog. I'm going Choi here. I just, like I said, I don't remember much about the other guy, if I even saw their last fight. So this is purely me capping it, based on what I've been seeing on the papers. But and I like that Choi is actually flipped to a dog. He was a slight favorite when I took him. And when I checked, it looks like most of the topology crazies are in on him as well. Whether that's good or bad, I'm not sure. But I'll take him as a dog here. Gumby, hopefully he's on my side. He can tell you why.
I'm not on your side. Also, I forgot.
Boo!
Go back to the graphic here.
Sahota's not even from Asia. Boo!
Yeah. I mean, he is.
I know.
But he just trains in England now. But here's the reason I like Sahota is in his last fight, he's another one I picked against. I had trouble with the last set of road to the UFC fights.
It's because I wasn't there.
And yeah, you weren't setting me up so I could knock him down, right?
Yep.
Quarterfinals I did really well, quarterfinals I did really well. Semifinals didn't do as well. But Sahota gets back up anytime he gets taken down. So this dude is so long for this division. He fights with that length really well, both in the clinch, throwing knees, elbows, things like that. And also just like jabbing and throwing like a prodding front kick. I love the fact that he uses both of those things. And for me, like I always want to have the guy who is winning the grappling advantages, right? Like that's my thing. Even though I don't think he's the better at wrestling here, the amount he gets up and the amount he's better in the clinch and in the striking, I think is enough to carry it. So I will tell you, based on what I've seen, what I saw on our great partner, MyBookie, make sure to use promo code SGPN. Sahota is still available as a dog in some places. So before you lay negative 105 on him, if you are on Team Gumby here, make sure you just shop around a little bit.
Yeah, this line seems to be flipping back and forth. So it depends what book you're checking in and what time you check it. So if you see a line you like for this fight, you better grab it. Because like I said, it's been moving around. All right. Which means it's going to be a close fight, which means Gumby and I both our picks are good. All right. Bantamweight championship is the last one here that we're covering for the road to UFC. Soo Young Yu from Korea, Balgyn Jenisuly from China, 3 5-minute rounds, 135. Jenisuly, 19-5. 5 knockouts, 9 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted twice. 2-1 in the road to UFC. He's won 4 straight and 9 of 10. Used to fight at featherweight, 3 inches height, 5 inches reach. Another massive gap for these low weight classes. More active landing strikes than you, plus 124. I didn't take the bigger fighter last fight. You surprised by that?
A bigger fighter and a striker. You passed on both. I was shocked.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what I'm doing, obviously. Jiu-Jitsu is the nickname, but yeah, YOO Jitsu, which is good. 13-3 with 2 no contests, 3 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out once, 2-0 on the road to UFC. He's got multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Used to fight at featherweight, 2014 pro MMA debut, minus 140. Are we going to link up here or not? Let's see.
I can't not take jiu-jitsu. I'm going.
I can.
Yeah, I knew you were going to not take him. His jiu-jitsu is so much better, though, is the difference. And like, if you watch his opponent in there, you're just going to see somebody freak out all the time. He's completely erratic in his fighting style. I mean that on the feet. I mean that on the mat. But like that also lends itself to making mistakes. That lends itself to. I mean, like I saw before in his last fight, he went in there and he was swinging wild. They got in a weird tussle in the clinch. He just tried to jump on the guy's back and like gave up position. Now a couple of times he got the back, but he wasn't fighting somebody like you who can like deal with that. And I think in this case, he's going to put himself in a lot of bad positions and jiu-jitsu could sub him at any given time. So yeah, I'm going to take jiu-jitsu here. I think even as a slight favorite here, tons of value.
All right. We disagreed on a few. I'm in on a lot of dogs here, Gumby.
You didn't even say why you like him. Did you have a reason?
Do I know he's big? He's
big
well
guy go boom.
He's well rounded. Topology people agree with me. That's
true. He freaks out in every possible position. So
I love it.
He is well rounded in the ways that he freaks out.
It's true. Well rounded and freaking out. All right. I love the fighters who fought on the Chinese regional scene too. So obviously. All right. Let's recap our very divisive episode here. He's got you. I have Jenisuly. There's so many jokes there, but we've recorded long enough. Sahota for him, Choi for me. Both have Feng. He likes Hernandez. I like Tumendemberel, maybe because I can say his name right. Both have Kavanagh. We both have Lee. We both have Motta. So a lot of value plays here. A lot of dogs. How many dogs do I have? 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. 4, 5. Oh boy. It could be boom or bust for me, Gumby. 5 dogs. That's probably the most I've ever picked. Fantastic.
And I got 2.5, depending on how you count Sahota.
Yeah, that's true. All right, cool. You guys are all set. If you want more from us, we're in the Discord all the time, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We're on YouTube. Maybe you're consuming us right now on YouTube. MMA Gambling Podcast. You can hit us in the comments. Obviously, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. You can hit us on the Twitter X, SGPN MMA. I'm Jeff Fox Writer. He's Gumby Vreeland. I got a Instagram as well under Jeff Fox Writer. I've got a Substack where you can enter a pick'em contest for this here event for free. moneymma.substack.com. Gumby has Top Turtle MMA podcast. Haven't listened yet this week. Has it dropped this week yet?
I'm gonna edit it right after we.
Okay, good. I didn't miss it.
But no, I'm talking with Tabitha Ricci and Octagon Flyweight Champion Sam Creasy.
Yep. So I haven't heard any comment. Have we heard any comments from Jong about Tabitha Ricci? Not yet. I'm sure once he hears it, he'll have comments. So yeah, listen to Top Turtle, and of course we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon, and sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. You're all set. We'll be back tomorrow. It will be me, Art of Knockout. It will be him, Gumby Jitsu, and we'll talk to you then.